Well, this one really caught me off guard today. Kristen Weston Chandler, or Christine Weston Chandler, as it says on this record here, has been released from jail. Now, we don't know where Chris is, we don't know what Chris is doing, but from that picture up in the top corner, we can tell that Chris has been going through it in jail. He's lost a lot of weight, like a lot of fucking weight. I mean, look at him up there in that picture. It's almost unrecognizable. This isn't going to be a very long video. This isn't going to be me looking in depth on what I think's going to happen and everything. We can get to that at a later point. This is just me letting everyone know that there is breaking news that Chris Chan is out of jail. Now, I did want to talk about a few things here. It's not every day you wake up and you see some huge Chris news like this. I think the last time this happened was when he actually got caught fucking his mom. Chris was in jail for a year and a half. Almost not almost exactly. I think he was arrested July 30th? I believe it was July 30th, maybe one of the first few days of August in 2021, and here we are now. I've been making those Chris jail letter videos where we were always questioning, when is he going to get out? And many people had said, oh, I don't think he ever will get out. And at this point, a year and a half down the line, I think a lot of people really started to think, damn, they really might just be throwing the book at Chris and keeping him there as like an example, keeping him there because they got some shit on him. Now, no matter what happened, all that's said and done now. Maybe Chris's lawyer actually, maybe he got what he wanted done. He got Chris out of there. Who knows what happened here? We will know eventually because Chris obviously will spout his mouth off. But I do think the one question that needs to be asked, and it's the one thing that most people are going to be wondering, is where does Chris end up? Does a white knight take him in, which is most likely what's going to happen here now? Does he go home? That's one that really is a head scratcher. Does Chris end up back at home with the woman who he raped a year and a half ago? It's really weird. Like I said, I can't wait to see as more info comes out about this, because as of right now, all we have is this info right here. But I've told y'all for months that when a new letter or something came out, I got y'all on the update, and I mean, shit. No more letters now. We might be seeing a Chris live stream sooner than we know it. So, like I said, I think what's going to happen with Chris is someone's going to take him in. If he does end up homeless, which, I mean, he probably already is, because I don't know if he's going back to the house, then I don't expect him to be homeless for too long. A lot of people have always theorized that the final Chris saga would be the homeless saga, and we'll find out if that's actually the case here. The final thing I wanted to do is just take a look at how different Chris looks in this picture compared to all his other ones. When he first went into jail, he was a portly Chris. He'd always been a bigger guy in his life. Now, we'd seen a more recent picture where Chris had seemed to be losing a little bit of weight. He still had that smile on his face that innocent Chris smile where, he was just thinking about Sonichu and all that shit, not thinking about the serious implications of the situation he's in. But now you see this picture, and it just looks like the life was sucked out of him, man. Now, maybe he just had a really horny bunkmate, but I really think what happened is it's a year and a half was too much for Chris to handle. Being away from the Sonichu shit and all that, it probably took a massive toll on him. And it makes me wonder, now that he's out of jail, is he just going to jump right back into his delusions full force? Did he learn anything? We all know he didn't learn shit. That's pretty obvious. I don't think anyone thought Chris was going to go to jail and end up learning a goddamn thing. But it's really going to be interesting to see how Chris is after he gets out of jail and what he's going to do now. Like I said, as this unfolds, I got y'all on the updates. Ain't no worry about that. But I did want to make this now just to let you know what's going on. And what's going on is that Chris Chan is out of jail. And, who knows? We may be hearing from him sooner rather than later. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see a random Chris Chan stream boot up from some white knight's house within the next few days. So, as this whole situation progresses, I'm going to be right here covering it. I hope you guys are ready for some nonsense from Chris, because he's gonna get out. He's gonna spill his whole jail story. It's probably gonna be very, very one-sided in his favor, talking down on all the evil security guards and shit like that. And it's also important to remember that this may be a day of reckoning for all the people who wrote to Chris in jail, because we had talked about it like a few months ago that Chris was keeping his goddess log, where he was keeping all of the letters that people had written him and his correspondence to them. He had also kept all their information and their addresses and shit, and then he also said that he was planning on selling this once he got out of jail. Well, well, we'll see. Those people's info might be available on eBay in just a few hours if you guys want to cop it up. It's just fucked up, but it's what's Chris gonna do. Another thing that makes me very curious is how is Chris going to react to finding out that there's a new Liquid Chris? Because you can only imagine, like if he's still as crazy as cuckoo shit as he was when he went in there. And I mean, come on, he's not. It's not like Chris really changed. It's obvious. It's Chris. Like, I really feel like when he hears that, like, what? There's a Liquid Chris again, he's just not going to be having it. Now, will he find out that it's actually not the real Liquid and, like, just some other guy playing him? It doesn't matter to Chris. Just the fact that the guy's back is probably going to be enough to get a video or two made on him. And, yeah. There's really not much more to talk about with Chris because we don't know anything yet. And as I'll repeat for the third time in this video, when we do know something, I got y'all. So, listen, this wasn't intended to be a very long video. I just wanted to give you all the breaking news. And, yeah, I'm heading out of here, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Take care. I usually give the shout-outs at the end of these, but I do not have the list in front of me right now. I'm actually in my break room at work. So, yeah. So I'll talk to you all on the next one. Take care.